Hey, Cowboys Nation. Today we are diving into everything happening with the Dallas Cowboys, from the latest roster updates to the nuances of player performances and the decisions shaping this team's future. It has been quite a week for the franchise, and there are several stories you need to know if you want to stay ahead of the curve. One of the first things on the docket is the ongoing discussion around George Pickkins, the wide receiver who has been under the microscope in recent weeks. Jerry Jones publicly backed Pickkins, praising the player for his competitiveness, his ability to secure the ball, and the overall contributions he brings to the field. According to Jones, Pickkins is more than capable of handling the pressure and expectations that come with being a key figure in the offense, highlighting his triple-plus qualities when it comes to performance, determination, and presence on the field. Of course, public support from an owner always sparks debate, and this instance was no exception. Analysts and commentators have speculated about the financial implications of backing a player so openly, some suggesting that this endorsement somehow sets the stage for massive contract demands. While the figures being thrown around, like $40 million per year, may seem astronomical, it's important to remember that these numbers often reflect hypothetical situations rather than guaranteed deals. The real story lies in the strategic fit, the player's relationship with the quarterback, and how the team's management approaches the negotiation process. In Pickens' case, his rapport with Dak Prescott is critical. Their chemistry on the field suggests that he thrives in Dallas, where the system and leadership maximize his talents. In contrast, if he were to seek opportunities elsewhere without a dependable quarterback, the outcomes could be less favorable for both the player and the acquiring team. Moving beyond contract discussions, injury updates have also been a major topic for the Cowboys. Jake Ferguson, the tight end, was downgraded to a did-not-practice status due to a calf injury, casting doubt over his availability for upcoming games. Calf injuries are tricky. They have the potential to escalate into Achilles issues if not handled carefully, so Ferguson's rehabilitation is being closely monitored. This shift in the roster means the Cowboys might lean more heavily on Luke Schoonmaker, Revin Spenceforth, and even call up Princeton Fant to cover the tight end responsibilities for upcoming matchups. The management of injuries and player rotations continues to be a strategic chess game, with every practice and game day decision impacting the team's performance. On the defensive side, the debate between Kenneth Murray and Logan Wilson has been heating up. Coach Brian Schottenheimer remains supportive of Murray, highlighting his athleticism and the moments when his coverage and performance shine. However, some analysts argue that Wilson, despite being less physically gifted, demonstrates superior awareness and positioning, often being in the right place at the right time. Snap counts have shown Murray getting slightly more opportunities on average per game, but the balance between raw talent and football intelligence has become a central talking point. The challenge for the Cowboys is finding the optimal mix that maximizes defensive efficiency while also fostering growth and development in younger players like Wilson. Fans are encouraged to weigh in on who they believe should see more playing time, but the coaching staff's decisions will likely blend both performance metrics and long-term strategy. Another layer to the Cowboys' story revolves around coaching staff dynamics and potential departures. Clayton Adams has been performing exceptionally well as a non-play caller coordinator, showing a level of expertise that has caught the attention of teams looking to elevate their offensive strategies. While he has not yet reached the point of leading play-calling responsibilities, his contributions to the offensive line and his overall impact on team execution have been significant. There is always a concern when talented coordinators receive outside interest, but for now, it seems the Cowboys are positioned to retain him without major disruption. Meanwhile, defensive line coach Aaron White-Cotton has emerged as a standout candidate for potential defensive coordinator roles elsewhere. His work with the Cowboys has been impressive, and while a top-tier defensive coordinator opportunity might not materialize immediately, his name is one to watch. Quarterback coach Steve Shimko also remains an important figure, particularly given his historical connections with other staff members across the league. The coaching carousel is always a fluid situation, with lateral moves and upward promotions impacting the team's ability to maintain continuity while also protecting its top talent. In terms of broader NFL news, the Raiders' quarterback situation is affecting league-wide dynamics. Kenny Pickett is expected to start against the Eagles, with Geno Smith reportedly not at full health. This scenario could present one of those rare, unexpected moments in football where a less consistent player steps up against a former team, potentially creating a fascinating narrative on the field. While Pickett has had his struggles, matchups like these often highlight the unpredictable nature of football, where preparation, team strategy, and individual determination collide to produce surprising outcomes. For the Cowboys and their fans, these league-wide developments serve as context for how their team's performance and roster decisions measure up against the competition. Finally, as the season progresses, the conversation around the Cowboys continues to intertwine player performance, coaching strategy, and front office decisions. Public endorsements, like that of Jerry Jones for Pickkins, spark debates, but also provide insights into organizational priorities. Injuries challenge depth charts and force strategic adjustments, while coaching staff considerations reveal the long-term planning and talent management essential for sustaining success. Every element, from wide receiver chemistry to linebacker rotations and coordinator retention, contributes to the intricate mosaic that defines Dallas Cowboys football. Fans remain engaged not just by wins and losses, but by the layers of strategy, evaluation, and execution that go into every snap and every game day call. Continuing on, one of the most intriguing aspects of the Cowboys' current landscape is how the team is balancing talent development with immediate performance. Players like George Pickens have become central to this conversation, not just because of their on-field skills, but because their growth trajectory impacts every facet of the offense. It's fascinating to watch how Prescott and Pickens interact during practices and games. There's a rhythm developing that seems to elevate both players, highlighting how quarterback-wide receiver chemistry can be a hidden engine behind team success. This type of dynamic doesn't happen overnight, and it is cultivated through film study, communication, and trust. Fans often see the highlight catches on Sundays, but what's invisible is the countless repetitions in training sessions, the adjustments after every drop, every misread, and every defensive scheme they face. Understanding that context gives a fuller picture of why the Cowboys are invested in players like Pickens and why his presence is more than just numbers on a stat sheet. Injury management continues to be a critical storyline for Dallas, particularly when evaluating tight ends like Jake Ferguson. His calf injury, though not catastrophic, represents a challenge in timing, mobility, and game planning. The Cowboys' ability to adapt to injuries without losing offensive efficiency has been remarkable historically, and now it is being tested again. Coaches must decide whether to limit practice repetitions, rotate personnel during games, or call up younger talent from practice squads. These decisions carry consequences that ripple through every position group. For example, the addition of Princeton Fant to the active roster for a game day role isn't just a backup plan. It's part of the team's larger strategy for maintaining balance and continuity. Every shift in personnel changes how plays are executed, from blocking assignments to route timing, and every decision must account for both short-term performance and long-term health. The way the Cowboys manage these situations often defines their resilience as a team, and fans watching closely can see how depth and preparation intersect on the field. Defensive dynamics have also been under scrutiny, particularly the ongoing evaluation between Kenneth Murray and Logan Wilson. Murray, with his athleticism and explosive movement, has moments where he dominates in coverage and makes key stops, yet consistency remains a question. Wilson, while less physically dominant, shows remarkable instincts, reading plays, and positioning himself effectively against both the run and the pass. This tension reflected the broader theme in football: raw athleticism versus football IQ. Coaches must weigh these qualities carefully, knowing that the snap counts, rotations, and game day decisions shape not only immediate outcomes, but also player development over the season. The choices made on this front could impact how the team evolves in future years, especially at a position as critical as linebacker, which functions as both a defensive anchor and a signal for defensive alignment. It's a chess match, and every defensive call, substitution, and snap count adjustment carries implications for both the present game and the long-term strategy of the Cowboys defense. Looking at the coaching staff, the potential departures and career moves remain a high-interest topic for analysts and fans alike. Clayton Adams, who has done impressive work with the offensive line and in coordinating overall team execution, is receiving outside attention. While he hasn't assumed a lead play-calling role, his influence on the offense is clear, making him an intriguing candidate for teams seeking fresh coaching perspectives. The history of non-play calling coordinators ascending to head coaching roles is limited, but Adams' performance this season demonstrates why he is on the radar. Defensive line coach Aaron White-Cotton is also in a strong position, known for creating disciplined, aggressive defensive fronts that challenge opposing quarterbacks and run games alike. His potential interviews for defensive coordinator positions elsewhere highlight the league's respect for his abilities and the value of cultivating coaching talent within a team. Meanwhile, quarterback coach Steve Shimko's experience and connections remain a subtle but important factor, providing both continuity and insight into how quarterback play develops within the Cowboys system. Each coaching decision, whether retention, promotion, or departure, feeds directly into the team's identity and operational philosophy, affecting everything from practice schemes to in-game adjustments. Beyond Dallas, league-wide developments also capture attention, especially when they intersect with the Cowboys' schedule or divisional dynamics. The Raiders' quarterback situation, for example, has potential implication for the NFC West and other matchups where timing, preparation, and game planning strategies are influenced by who is taking snaps under center. Kenny Pickett starting against the Eagles introduces a level of unpredictability, offering an opportunity for teams and analysts to evaluate how less experienced or struggling quarterbacks perform under pressure. Such games serve as learning experiences for both sides of the ball, providing data, insights, and tape that influence preparation for upcoming opponents. The NFL's interconnected nature means that a seemingly isolated storyline, like a quarterback injury or change, has cascading effects on scouting reports, defensive alignments, and even draft evaluation priorities for all teams, including Dallas. In addition to player and coach performance, the management of contracts and roster decisions remains a compelling narrative. Public endorsements, like those from Jerry Jones for Pickkins, often generate debate, but they also serve as signals to the team and the league about priorities, culture, and internal evaluations. Balancing star player expectations, franchise tag considerations, and long-term salary cap management is a constant juggling act for front offices. The Cowboys have historically been meticulous, yet sometimes unpredictable in this arena, a combination that keeps fans engaged and analysts busy speculating. Every negotiation, every tag, and every contract extension affects the team's ability to build continuity and sustain competitiveness over multiple seasons. Meanwhile, fans are drawn not just to wins and losses, but to the nuanced narratives unfolding each week. How a receiver like Pickkins thrives in certain systems, how injuries test roster depth, how linebackers balance raw athleticism with instinctual play, and how coaching staff stability or change shapes the team's strategic direction. The interplay of all these elements defines the character of the Cowboys, offering stories that go beyond statistics to the heart of what makes football compelling: preparation, execution, and the constant pursuit of excellence in every facet of the game. Every snap, every rotation, and every game day call carries weight, influencing not just the scoreboard but the broader arc of the season. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NFL rumor mill is swirling after news broke that Justin Simmons has reportedly been signed by the Dallas Cowboys, sending shockwaves through the league and instantly elevating the Cowboys' secondary to elite status. Sources close to team operations hint that this move could be a game-changer for a unit that has shown flashes but has often struggled against top-tier passing attacks. Simmons, known for his intelligence, ball-hawking instincts, and leadership on the field, is widely regarded as one of the premier safeties in the league, and insiders suggest that pairing him with the Cowboys' young cornerbacks could create one of the most feared defensive backfields in football today. While the Cowboys have long been linked to several high-profile defensive acquisitions, few anticipated the addition of a player of Simmons' caliber. Rumors suggest that negotiations moved quickly once the franchise identified a window to secure his services, with sources claiming the front office was determined to reshape the team's defensive identity. Word on the street is that Simmons' arrival has already energized the locker room, with veteran players reportedly praising his work ethic and his ability to mentor emerging talent. Analysts speculate that his presence could also relieve pressure on the pass rush, allowing linebackers and defensive ends to take more aggressive stances knowing that Simmons is patrolling the back end. Off the field, chatter is buzzing about how this signing could impact the Cowboys' long-term strategy. Some insiders suggest the move signals a win-now approach, positioning the team as a legitimate contender in the NFC. Others argue that Simmons' leadership might be the missing piece to develop a younger defensive core capable of sustaining success for years. Whatever the reality, fans are clearly intrigued, and social media speculation is reaching a fever pitch. Could this be the defining moment that cements Dallas' defensive identity? Only time will tell, but the buzz alone has made the NFL landscape a little more unpredictable, and every opponent will now have to account for a safety whose reputation precedes him. If true, this move could mark the start of a seismic shift in the league's perception of the Cowboys' defense, transforming them from a team with potential into a unit that demands respect week in and week out. The rumor has ignited debates, sparked mock drafts, and even inspired bold predictions about how the team could dominate in the coming seasons, making Justin Simmons' name one every fan and analyst will be watching closely. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.